Fair warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual. Can't be helped. You called me. So here I am. I know I shut you out sometimes. I'm always glad to hear from you. It's just that I get my hopes up. So many times it's led to nothing. I found nothing. It's like we live in a room, and there's a poster on the wall. We stare at it and we think that's the whole world. The room and the poster.
Truly, video games are the greatest thing that have been invented by humankind, as they let us stay sane during this weird time we live in right now, as either multiplayer or single player video games are a great source of escapism from the cruelty of day-to-day life. Last time we talked and discussed about Quantum Break, a third-person shooter made by Remedy Entertainment. I didn't deep dive into the narrative and the story of the game, but what made it stand out amidst all other third-person shooter out there. And today we will have a look at another title from Remedy, Control, their latest game, as we go into everything that this game has to offer, from the entire story to the gameplay and the level and art design. So strap in, this will be a hell of a journey.
Fair warning. This is gonna be weirder than usual.
Looking back at the game trailer that was published back in March of 2019, and like every single Remedy title, it was something new and unique. It was a mix of an actual gameplay and some rendered cutscenes, and oh man did it look super futuristic. Remedy is known for making third-person shooter games with superpowers, looking back at Max Payne and the bullet time, into Quantum Break and all of the powers that you get to use over the course of the game, and Control is no different. But making the same genre of games is sure going to be repetitive and boring if you do it over and over again, so you have to make something new and innovative each time. And as Rockstar's famous title GTA, each installment of Grand Theft Auto is the same at its core. You steal cars, kill people and roam around the city. What makes each version different is the story that shapes your journey. And Remedy makes some great and interesting stories, all thanks to their creative director Sam Lake, famously known for being the face of Max Payne 1. And he is the guy behind all Remedy's stories, and for Control's story. The game starts with a monologue by Jesse. We see the Federal Bureau of Control, the setting where the entire game will begin. The entire intro feels ominous and weird, and then Jesse is introduced. At first glance, Jesse felt like a familiar face, and ended up being the same actress who played Beth Wilder in Quantum Break. The bureau is empty. As you start looking for people, you come across a couple of portraits of some individuals, which will later on play a huge role in the progression of the story. As you move a little bit more, you hear music playing, and you come across a janitor mopping the floor. This is Ati, and you learn that Jessie will work for him as an assistant, but she has to go to the interview. As you proceed deeper into the bureau, the game starts. I like this transition from just the title of the game in sheer blackness into the elevator's door opening up perfectly at the center of the title, demonstrating some clever attention to details. I have to mention that throughout the game you find a lot of correspondences in files. They are not mandatory to finish the game, but if you want to learn more and really get into the details of the story, they are a great way to do so. And I really like that Remedy does stuff like this. They are subtle, but shows the dedication that developers and creators put into their masterpieces. Anyway, you hear a sudden noise, and you have to investigate what happened. You go into the director's office and you are welcomed by a dead body with a weapon laying next to him. Here, Jessie starts talking to herself, as if she is seeing or having a conversation with someone. This occurs a lot in the game, and it will all make sense eventually. You pick up the gun, and everything shifts. Random voices starts playing, apparently it's the board talking, and nothing makes any sense, and you don't know what is going on. Suddenly you are placed in a weird place, a bunch of black cubes with gold tint in a bright void. You follow the path as the game teaches you the basic mechanics. As a side note, the jumping in this game is a lot nicer than Quantum Break. It feels fluid and smooth. As you progress through the path, a weird creature is summoned, and the game tells you to melee him. This is the way you get all the superpowers in control. Unlike Quantum Break, being blasted by almost all of the superpowers in the first act, Control takes a slower approach, introducing each power at a time, which gives you more time to get familiar with them. After meleeing the creature, the gun appears, and you can get a hold of it. It's called the service weapon, and it will follow you throughout your journey. But how do you get the ammo? In the past games you mostly refill from dead enemies' weapons. Well, not this time. You have infinite ammo. Well, in a way, you have certain number of bullets in a magazine. When you finish them, the weapon starts recharging, giving you more ammo. A simple balance to this mechanic, and it doesn't feel overpowered at all. The damage is reasonable. After finishing the mission, you go back to the director's office, and you have full control of the service weapon. After that, you go outside, and the following scene is what makes this game such an outstanding masterpiece. The art design of the game is unique and never done before in a video game, and it will get better and better as you play along.
You can't let this happen. 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 You stopped it. You... Oh, thank you. That was... horror.
Later on, some enemies show up and you kill them. There is a lot of fighting and shooting in this game, so if you are a huge fan of that, then this game is for you. It can get repetitive as every single shooting game out there, but it's still fun and quite challenging. Next, you have to go to the central executive. The room is all weird and a lot of objects are not supposed to be there. Floor is uneven, and yeah, there's a fucking pyramid upside down in the middle of the room. And you have to cleanse the control point. This is your checkpoint marker. It is the place where you can fast travel inside the different levels of the bureau, and also upgrade your superpowers later on. The moment you cleanse the control point, the entire room starts shifting back to how it was. And that's what I meant by the art design in this game is a masterpiece. A unique concept, but it works perfectly and sets up the mood.
Holy shit. You did it.
Following this, you have to go to speak with Pope, and here we learn that Jessie is actually the new director of the bureau and not Ati's assistant. Also, we learned that something called the Hiss has infiltrated the building and managed to control a lot of people inside the bureau who are not wearing HRAs, which are a unique piece of equipment that help people stay sane and not be controlled by Hiss. After a little chatting with Pope, Jessie mentions that Trench, the old director, mentioned a hotline, which is an object of power, just like the service weapon. These objects of power are a key to the story, and Jessie has to find it. Pope mentions that the hotline is in the communications department, so Jessie heads there. And I gotta mention one thing, I don't like the direction indicator in the game. You have a map that shows you the location of the next part of the mission, and you have to follow the direction signs, but sometimes I found them very confusing, and I find myself lost for solid minutes looking around for the next place that I am supposed to be in. Not sure if it's my retardation or just the game itself, but it is downright frustrating.
Other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
You know that you are in the right place when you see the entire place is lit by a red light, and everything is messed up and another shootout occurs. Every single mission has a shootout because it's a shooting game after all. After dealing with all the enemies, you cleanse the control point, and the entire room shifts around. You keep going on your track heading to the hotline. You find a new object of power. After cleansing it, you are sent right back to the astral plane. You know, that place where you learn to use your first power melee, and you got hold of the gun.
They're pyramids in Bureau Seal. Are they really the ones pulling the strings? I'm not their director. I'm no one's director.
Now you learn a new power, which is launch. You grab an item or a highlighted object and you launch it towards something. And here where I was shocked of the level of details in this game. You can grab almost every single object in the room, and the level of physics and destruction in this game is beyond me. If you start hitting the wooden wall, you see it getting destroyed piece by piece. If you hit a portrait or an item frame, it drops to the ground and get damaged. Also, if you shoot papers on top of a desk or a shelf, you see pile of papers particles flying around. Same goes for bushes and small trees. Leaves flying everywhere when you shoot them. This level of dynamic and physics combined with ray tracing technology is what sets Control in top of the most advanced game graphically. Speaking of ray tracing, one setting that I really like in every Remedy game: muting copyrighted materials. It really helps content creators to talk and speak about the game without having the fear of their content getting copyrighted claimed. And I hope that every single company implement this toggle into their game in the future. As you proceed through the communication department, you encounter a new type of enemy, Tomasi. This one is annoying because it flies, has the same launch power, and also dodges your launched objects, so you are stuck with trying to dodge and shooting him. It flees at the end and you proceed through the communication department heading to the hotline chamber.
I have a feeling he'll be back.
And there you hear the sound of a phone ringing and an orange light at the end of the hallway. You see a silhouette of Trench in a light switch. In a board written in it, the law of 3 applies. So naturally you flick the light switch 3 times. And lo and behold, you are sent to the Ocean View Motel.
Door marked with a black pyramid.
Have we been here before?
God knows how you ended up there, you find a set of doors, and each door has a symbol painted on it, and you can interact with one door that has a painting of a black pyramid upside down, and it looks a lot like the pyramid in the Central Executive. But it is locked, so you go to the receptionist. You find there a bell that you ring. With each ring, a door opens in the opposite side. You find while investigating the room that they all do look alike, the same layout, and you find a key in the last room. You take the key and you open the door with the black pyramid, and you find a painting of you in front of a glass room. Following the law of 3, you flick the light switch 3 times, and you are sent exactly to that place that painting showed, and you find the hotline inside the glass room.
Key has a black pyramid on it.
You go there and you answer their ringing phone, and you are sent to the astral plane. And here you learn a new ability that works in the background. The hotline helps you speak with extra-dimensional entities, like the old directorial, for example, Trench. Also, you find a new set of enemies in the astral plane that you cannot kill. You have to just run around in order to stay away from them. After speaking with Emily about the hotline, a cinematic sequence of the maintenance department starts. My initial reaction of the game when I started was that the setting where you play, which is the bureau, is small and it will get repetitive quickly. But man, did the game prove me wrong. I was amazed at the sheer space laying beneath everything. You finish the first mission, Unknown Caller, and you are rewarded by a couple of ability points that you can redeem in the control point. These points help you upgrade your abilities and make them last longer and deal more damage. Also, spending your point gains you milestone rewards, such as having a new weapon form slot, and you can have up to 2 empty slots, and you can switch your weapon form at a quick notice. Each form of the weapon is suitable for a specific time and place. Starting the second mission, you head to the maintenance sector in order to find Ati. As you delve through the level, a new mission pop up into the screen. If you activate it, you go straight to the astral plane, and there you have to cleanse the merry-go-round horse objects of power. After cleansing it, you get power, evade, or what I call dash. You can combine your new power while jumping to cover a big gap.
Ugh, this place makes me nauseous. An object of power. How do you think it got down here?
You are sent right back to the maintenance sector in order to keep looking for Ati. You find his office with him inside. He has to help you to get to the override in order to lift the lockdown on the bureau so you can go to the other sectors easily. After finishing speaking with Ati, he offers you some side missions to do, and you can choose either doing them or not.
You got the job. It's place for congratulations. Yippee, saatana. It happened in the last drop. I truly need an assistant.
Funny thing is, I've been a janitor. I'm more at home in that role than as the director. Only Ati here seems to see that.
Yeah, hi, Ati. Look, we need to get the lockdown lifted, otherwise I can't get to the other sectors. Can you help me get to the override?
Yes, easy peasy. It's just around the corner. But first, we need to get you working. Very small, couple of hours job.
Something tells me it's gonna be more than that.
You think there's a dog buried in this? I can tell you are not yesterday's Krause's son. That's why you'll make a great assistant. Very well. I'll hit the facts on the table. Mä kyllä sanon perkele suoraan, that this house has a vermin problem. A bad one. They've already messed up the cooling pumps. And the power generators of a power plant, perkele. And the pensioner inside is starting to feel the band around his head tighten. The situation needs to be fixed before the plant blows up. And we all disappear like a fart in Sahara.
Trying my best to keep up with this. Fix the coolant pumps and the power generators, otherwise the power plant will blow.
But don't you worry. I've left you clear instructions. You'll catch the end of the thread before I go to my vacation. The work's on the task board here. You can do later, when you have time.
Vacation? Right.
Yes, no one's gonna cancel my holiday or seat's gonna rattle. But don't worry at all. You'll take care of it and soon this crisis gonna be last winter's snow. You better go now, so you don't have to run with your head as your third leg. The door in the back leads to the plant.
The door in the back. That's great. Thank you, Ati.
Following the main mission, you go to the NSC power plant. You have to speak with Arish, the security chief, and he tells you all about the plan of getting the water and the electrical systems repaired before the power plant explodes.
We're on the same side.
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm here to perform the directorial override to get the lockdown lifted.
Yeah, Chief Arish, FBC Security. I'm just... Oh, hang on, you're the new director. It's a pleasure, ma'am.
Let's skip the formalities, please.
Right. Faden, ma'am. Look, as you can probably tell, it's a bit of a shit show down here. We've been holding our ground, but whatever's gotten into our buddies has them wrecking the coolant pumps and the power converters. The NSC keeps overheating, and my crews keep getting shot before they have a chance to make any repairs.
NSC?
Oh, sorry. Bureau jargon. It's what we call the power plant. You know, the big rumbling metal thing. Salvador, head of security, asked me to protect it in case of an attack. See, what's inside is dangerous. Dr. Darling seemed to know it would be a target.
Darling? He's here?
No, he came down a few days ago, before everything went to hell. He was out of it. Smelled like a bar mat. He was ranting about vulnerabilities and how he only had one large-scale HRA, but that he needed it somewhere else. Still, at least he gave us these personal HRAs before he left. Hey, did I mention that he was tearing his clothes off? Crazy dude.
Darling knew the hiss was coming.
Listen, I love playing 20 questions as much as the next guy, but we have got to get the water and electrical systems repaired before this baby blows. I'll have my guys unlock the doors out of here for you.
I'll take care of it. You stay and keep the hiss away from the plant if you can.
The hiss? That's what we're calling him? That's catchy. Oh, listen, the radios aren't working, so if you find my boss Salvador out there, could you please ask him what the plan is? I'm sure he will have one by now.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
He sure has a lot of faith in his boss.
Try to stay alive.
After hitting to the coolant pumps, you have to fix them. It is as simple as grabbing these weird power cubes and putting them in their appropriate place. The cube snaps right into place without any effort. I wish this was a bit challenging, actually put some effort into fixing them, since that's a crucial part of the progression of the story. It would feel more rewarding and satisfying to do rather than just holding and releasing a key without thinking. At least the last pipe is blocked, so you have to put some effort to fix that. You keep hearing Atti's voice talking to you, guiding you through the level to fix the maintenance department. So you are exactly working under Atti as a janitor assistant. You head into what seems to be a sewers area, and you find a weird blob thingy that you have to shoot some white pimples-like things in order to destroy it. After fixing the clog, now you can fix the coolant pumps. You have to fix the NSC energy converters. On your way there, you learn a new defensive ability called, drumrolls, shield. You grab a bunch of rocks and you shield yourself from enemies' attacks. And you can't attack while shielding yourself, so you have to reposition yourself into a safe area in order to keep shooting and not get killed. When you head into the NSC energy converters room, you do the same as before, throw some cubes into their appropriate place and you are done. After fixing both problems, you have to lift the lockdown using the directorial override. The control room is infected, so you have to clear the enemies and cleanse the control point, which leads to the room shifting back to its original state.
Protect them. Forces contain. A lockdown. Only be lifted by a directorial override.
Marking that you have indeed gained the control back. And you use service gun as a key to override the lockdown. After doing all that, you go back to speak with Emily, and in this conversation we learn the true intent of why Jessie is in the bureau. She is looking for her missing brother Dylan, that the bureau took after an incident happened in their hometown. When a slide projector, a power source created, as Jessie describes them, doorways to another places, and she mentions that through one of these doorways, they met a being, and she helped them. Then the screen flashes indicating that something important has been mentioned. Remember when I said at the beginning of the video that Jessie talked with herself as if she is having a conversation with somebody? Well, that somebody is that being that helped them back then. She is still with Jessie, guiding her through her journey to save her brother. And the second mission ends with a cinematic look at what is coming next in the third mission, Old Boys Club.
Told me about Ordinary, my powers being connected to things in the Bureau's past. I am so close to something. Do you feel it? Something's coming.
We take turns to come for a visit. I helped you. You owe me now. And when time comes, I will come calling.
To start the mission, you have to go to the research center. Use the sector elevator to, as the name suggests, travel to the different sectors in the building. When you arrive there, you have to look for Marshall, one of the key characters of the story. In the parapsychology, the entire place is shifting around with parts of the wall sticking out, the usual thing about the bureau. And like every time you clear a bunch of enemies, you claim control and everything shifts back. In your way looking for Marshall, you head to the astral exhibition. You find there a weird room. Remember that enemy that we find in the astral plane? That weird like blob thing that you cannot damage and you just have to run away from? That same enemy is locked inside the room. Whenever this thing that I'm gonna call blob from now onwards sees you, it follows you in order to, you guessed it, kill you. And your task here is to lock this blob behind the door and shut it, so you can progress. It takes a while to get the hang of the puzzle and to know exactly where to go. You power the door first using these power cubes thing, just like before. Then you try to lure the blob into following you into the back room. And then quickly you shut the door using the control switch in the main room. Doing that correctly, and a door opens, and now you can keep going to the parapsychology department. Of course, there is a new shootout that you have to clear. And I forgot to mention that there is a certain enemies that heals their allies. It doesn't deal any damage, so it's best to target it first. So the rest can be done with easily. After claiming the control of the central point, you find a new object of power. And just like before, this means you are going to learn a new power. This time is seize. When enemies get to a certain HP, you can seize their minds, making them your allies and helping you throughout the shooting. After finishing the astral plane mission, you're sent back to the bureau and your next task is to head to the parapsychology elevator in order to speak with Marshall, as she gives you the task of clearing the hiss to get more HRAs that Darling created in his lab.
I'm Helen Marshall, head of Bureau Operations. Zachariah's dead then, and I assume you found his gun.
Just call me Jesse. Trench told me to find you. He said you could help.
And he told you this through the hotline. Makes sense.
None of this phases her? Really?
Here's the situation. Darling created the HRAs in a lab nearby. We need more if we're gonna survive this attack. My rangers can't secure the lab alone, not against those things. We need more firepower.
At least she seems to know what's going on here. She could know about Dylan.
I can clear out the hiss. I'll be your firepower.
That's a good answer.
Is she testing me?
Darling has systems in place to protect his labs. This should help you get past them. We'll talk more after you clear out the hiss. Rangers, let her through. We'll have to lock the door behind you. Sorry, but we can't risk a breach.
After entering the ritual division and fighting your way to victory and taking back the control, you head into the productive studies room. In there, you keep looking for the HRA lab that Dr. Darling have created. You find a huge stone door with a monitor on it. When you click it, you are met with a puzzle and the solution as well to get familiar with these type of puzzles. After solving it, the door opens leading to the HRA lab. You find there a huge HRA machine that you have to activate. In order to activate it, you have to solve the same type of puzzle that you just solved. There are 5 machines that have correspondent solve, and you have to get all of them right in order to progress. There are a bunch of hints in the whiteboards around the lab, but I won't lie, it took me a solid of 15 minutes to solve the puzzle, which I am ashamed of. It is not the hardest puzzle in the world, but it holds a challenge nonetheless. When you activate the machine, the black rock prism that was in there shattered. So now you have to go to the black rock processing and maintenance, and the 3rd mission is finished, leading to the 4th one, threshold.
The prism shattered. Darling's prototypes have a lot of issues. We need a new plan. We need more black rock prisms to make this machine work. Darling has another lab, down in the Blackrock processing site in maintenance. That must be where he keeps the prisms.
I've been to maintenance already. I can find my way.
But how long will that take? Nothing here is simple. I need to ask her now, before I go.
I need something from you first. What do you know about Dylan Faden?
I knew this was coming. Lives are at stake here, and we need this machine working to save those lives. Once that is done, Director Faden, then we can talk.
She's right. As much as I don't want to admit it, I'm the only one who can help.
Fine. I'll get the prisms first.
Dylan will have to wait just a little longer.
But don't call me Director. Jesse is fine.
I'll call you Faden. Here, you'll need this keycard.
Thanks. Emily Pope has set up a base in Executive. Once I have the prism, I'll meet you there.
Right. I'll move out immediately. And keep an eye out for Darling. Finding him might be the key to stopping the hiss.
It's just one large-scale HRA. It's there now. We are about to be exposed to a different kind of resonance. Hostile, viral, invasive resonance. That's what the Hedron resonance amplifiers are for. Taking the protection Hedron can provide us, and keeping us from being wiped out.
Here, this will lead back to Central Research.
When you head towards the maintenance sector, you move through the access corridor. After clearing your path, you find a light switch, and we all know what happens next. Flick the switch 3 times and you are sent to the Ocean View Motel. But each time you go there is some sort of a quick puzzle that you have to solve in order to get the key. Nothing hard, just get all the rooms to look like the first one and you got your key. You open the door with the upside down pyramid and you flick the switch 3 times and you're sent back.
Room for the night? Hello? I don't think anyone's there, honey. Come on. We'll go to that motel we passed a while back.
Then you go to the astral chamber. You shoot your way again and you gain back control of the chamber. After that, you have to speak with Irish. He directs you towards the Blackrock prison.
Hey, thanks for bringing down that... whatever the fuck that was. But we are barely holding on here, boss. How's the situation outside maintenance?
What do I tell him? The truth is harsh, but these people seem familiar with death.
The hiss are everywhere. Most of the Bureau is lost. We need Blackrock Prism to make more HRAs for any survivors in the safe rooms. I'm here to check Darling's Blackrock lab.
So to recap, death, disaster, and imminent destruction. Another day at the FBC. Well, Darling's lab is just past Blackrock processing. I got good news and I got bad news on that front. Good news is, it's right down the hall. Bad news is, a hiss monster has decided to move in, so that's great.
Monster.
That's what the Rangers said. The ones that survived, anyway. We are just treading water here, and the hiss keep coming. Salvador would know what to do, but apparently he took a security team into the containment sector just before the lockdown happened, and well, no one's seen him since. But hey, at least we got you, our fearless leader.
They shouldn't rely on me. They don't know me. They don't know how I've failed people.
You've done a good job here, Arish, but you should take your people and get to the base and executive. You can regroup there. I'll go deal with this monster. I'm getting kind of used to them.
Aye, aye, Faden. And be sure to put a bullet in that thing for me.
You have to kill a monster of some sort in there. When you try to look for the Black Rock Prism, you obviously find nothing. But instead, that monster appears out of nowhere. That's his ability. He can disappear for a couple of seconds and then a smoke starts appearing, indicating that the monster will attack. The best approach to fight this monster is block the attack using shield, then immediately start shooting, preferably using the shotgun from a close range. After dealing with him, a new mission update tells you that you have to search Dr. Darling's Black Rock lab. You get the clearance level 5 card that allows you to access the Black Rock quarry. And yes, there is a bloody quarry under the bureau. So how mistaken were you when you thought that the game has nothing when you started playing it? Because I was. Going back to the game, heading towards the quarry, you find the elevator is broken. So you have to rely on one thing, jumping down. Of course it won't be a free dive, but rather following a path that the developers have already pre-made for you in a creative way, since at this point of the game you don't possess the levitation power. When you reach the bottom level and you do the same drill, fight enemies, gain control back, the entire room shifts how it was, you find the quarry, and as Jesse says, not what I expected.
Whoa. Not what I expected.
The quarry looks like another planet in space, with different rocks sticking from the floor, and some of them flying, and there is a fucking sky in here, or I guess a fake one since this entire quarry is under the bureau. But the entire place looks majestic and magical. You find a bunch of enemies before completing your mission. I forgot to mention that the enemies get tougher over the course of the game, so it becomes more of a challenge to beat them. You have to act cleverly and use your power up creatively to beat them. Now, you have to activate the explosives in order to extract the Black Rock, and it is just a matter of putting the cubes in their appropriate place. After taking the Black Rock, you go straight back to the executive to speak with Marshall. And now you learn the truth about Dylan, the brother. He was taken in by the Bureau after the events that occurred in Ordinary 17 years ago. He was planned to be the new director since he had talent far beyond anyone, but he wasn't stable and became dangerous, so he was held captive in the Panopticon. And the mission threshold is finished, leading to the new mission, My Brother's Keep.
Is here. He was once known as Prime Candidate 6. Codename P6. We brought him here after the Ordinary event. He was groomed to be the future director. He had talents far beyond any other candidate in the program.
Of course he did. We found you together. We share a bond. Are you with him now?
So you kidnapped him?
We took him in. Your parents vanished along with every other adult in Ordinary. Eventually, his power changed him. There were casualties. He wasn't fit to be the director.
Did you know about this? Is this why you didn't bring me here sooner? Were you keeping me away?
Where is Dylan?
He's kept in the containment sector, in the Panopticon.
My brother. I thought we were the same. What if we are?
I'm going. Now.
I expected as much. I need to go check on something. Something I cannot let the hiss find. It shouldn't take long, but you must watch the Bureau while I'm gone. And remember, Dylan is dangerous. Do not let him out, Director Faden.
How do I make her stop calling me that? I'm not here for them. Nothing simple here. These people took my brother, but They've accepted me without question. Are they my enemies or my friends? I need to see Dylan. I need to know. I wish you could tell me what you know, explain things. Just stay with me, okay? I could use a friend right now.
You head to the elevator, and you go to the containment sector, where you will find your brother. On your way to the Panopticon, you find out that the cell that Dylan was captured in has been breached, so this calls for another travel to the Ocean View Motel. Same drill again, you ring the bell, you solve the puzzle, you open the door with the upside down pyramid, and bada bim bada boom, you are back. You meet Langston, the Panopticon supervisor. You learn from him that Dylan is in the most isolated cell in the upper level, but there is an object of power that is wrecking the place off, the Benikoff TV, so you have to subdue it.
Oh, hello. Is there something I can help you with?
I'm Jessie, the new director. I need to get inside.
New director? Right, well, okay. Hello, I'm Frederick Langston, the Panopticon supervisor. It's not the best time for a tour. We have hiss everywhere, numerous cell breaches, and system failures across the board, but you're the director, so here we go. Founded by Zachariah Trench, the Panopticon is our state-of-the-art repository for all altered items.
I don't have time for this.
Power and...
I was told Dylan Faden was kept here. Can you help me find him?
Faden? Sure. Darling wanted him somewhere secure and isolated away from people. He's in the maximum security cells, upper level. But there's currently a pressing matter, ma'am. We've got an object of power loose in there. It's wrecking the place. The Benikoff TV, it's a real doozy. Salvador took a team in to handle it, but no one's heard from them for hours. This is a Category 5 OOP we're talking about, and if we don't contain it soon, it will tear the Panopticon apart. And we don't want all those altered items getting loose, ma'am. No, trust me.
Dylan's in there.
Open the door, Langston. I'll handle it.
If you say so. I usually tell first-timers not to touch anything, so, just do that. Here, I'll get the door for you. And please, ma'am, call me Fred.
Thanks, Langston.
On your way to the 4th floor, you come across that twisted passage, and in there you find the objects of power, the Benikoff TV. Trying to cleanse it, the entire room shifts in a spiral way, and I said it before and I will say it again. This game looks fucking stunning. The visuals are top tier, and to be frank with you, I have never seen a game taking this approach before. Everything connects beautifully with each other, and it's just pleasing to the eye. Everything in that room keeps spinning in the air like a tornado, and they all go through a spiral passage. Going through that passage till the end leads of course to a shooting range, where a bunch of enemies spawn and you have to clear them. After clearing all the enemies, you find the TV at the end of the room. After cleansing it, you are sent right away to the astral plane, which means you are going to learn a new power. This time it is levitation. You hold spacebar to levitate in the air, you stay levitated for a while, and then you start floating downwards. You can use both levitate and dash in order to clear a huge area in a second, which makes traveling across platform way more easier. You can also jump from a high ground and wait until you are about to hit the floor, and tap space again, which makes you take no damage when you hit the floor. Going back to the mission. Now you have to go up to the 5th floor in order to meet Dylan, your brother. You can't use the elevator, so you're using your new acquired ability. You jump from platform to a platform until you reach your destination. After going to the cell, you are surprised that Dylan is not there, and you hear pop Cullen. She tells you that Dylan is with them in executive. When you speak with Pope, she tells you that Dylan has been affected by the hiss, but in a different way, and he is now contained in an HRA proof cage in the upper floor.
With us. He just walked in. He says he is giving himself up. He's been affected by the hiss, but he is different than the others. We must isolate him.
I'm on my way. We need to get back. I have to see my brother.
So you head there to talk to him. When you enter the room, you find Dylan levitating in his cell, mumbling some weird words. Apparently, everyone can levitate in Faden's family. When you try to speak with Dylan, he recognizes Jessie, but not as his sister, because he cannot recognize himself as Dylan, but rather P6, which means that he was brainwashed in order to become the new director of the Bureau by Trench and Dr. Darling, and the hiss is now talking through Dylan's mouth. Jessie tries to get help from Polaris, the hiss inside her, but Dylan can sense her, and he gets angry at her. That's not quite the reunion that Jessie was hoping for. But Dylan mentioned that the slide projector they shut down in Ordinary was brought back with Dylan to the Bureau. So your task now is to find the slide projector and shut it down.
You are Dylan Faden's sister.
He's talking in the third person. Always a good sign.
Do you know who you are?
Not Dylan. Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better.
Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this to be true.
Can you stop that? Please?
Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No. Fuck off, no. You need to help me get this thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you have to help me.
You came in through the hole in you. We let you in. You've always been here. The only true. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Stop it!
Orange peel.
Shit. Shit. He can see you. This is not safe.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small. In Ordinary. In the desert, through the door opened up by the slide projector. But she didn't help when Trench took me away. She didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers. She didn't help when they locked me up for years.
After the song time for applause, we build you till nothing remains. The air cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home.
The Bureau brought the slide projector back here with me. And the Bureau did what the Bureau does. They used it. And they found... They opened the door up to the hiss. That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah. Just plastic. So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny.
I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet.
You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss.
regulations.
Maybe it's not too late for my brother.
You must see the truth for yourself, Jesse. Sister. The horrible truth about the Bureau. The hiss is the better option. Go to the Prime Candidate program in the containment sector. I have the keycard to get you there. Salvador wanted me to have it.
Wanted? Bullshit. I saw what the hiss did to Salvador. What it turned him into.
Okay, Dylan. I'll go. I want to see the truth for myself.
I'll go. But only to look for this light projector. You can help me. We can end this.
You are a worm through time. You are a worm through time.
You head to the containment sector, where you have to find the Prime Candidate program. The entire place is weird, as some part of the room is a bit tilted and nothing is symmetrical. But anyway, after finding the Prime Candidate program, you find a big white board with a lot of pictures of Jesse and timestamps with dates in some classified document, which means that the Bureau was tracking Jesse.
All the times I felt paranoid. I was right. The Bureau could have given me the answers, but they just stood by and watched me.
After learning that, you have now to find the ordinary L area, or AWE area, which is located in the turntable. After fighting your way through the turntable, you take the elevator to the second floor, which leads to the ordinary AWE. In there, you have to search for the slide projector, and you find a miniature of Jessie's city where she lived, with her home painted in red.
It's all here. Our home, our school, the woods, the dump.
Progressing forward, you enter the ordinary dump, where the Bureau apparently have mowed the entire landfill, and Dr. Darling's lab is in there, which is quite odd and fascinating that a science lab is in the middle of a dumpster. But anyway, you search it, and in order to look for the slide projector, you find a video message left by Dr. Darling explaining that he took the projector to the research lab, a dedicated area to study the objects of power, called the Dimensional Research, and that's the next stop, concluding the mission, the face of the enemy, and starting the finished tango.
New department. Dimensional research in the research sector. Transferring the slide projector there. That's where my focus will be now. The ordinary site remains as is. We'll be back to... I don't know when.
Darling took the projector to the research sector. He dedicated a whole area to it, so he knew it was important. Dimensional research. That's where we go next.
You start by heading towards the Dimensional Research, located in the research sector. You enter the astral maze, and what's coming next is one of the best visuals I have ever seen in a video game. But first, let's go looking for Ati, shall we? You go to the janitor's office, located in the maintenance sector. You don't find him in his office, but you can interact with a painting hanging there, which gives you a lead to follow, and couple of tasks in the board that you can either play or skip altogether, as they don't have a real impact on the story.
Now this boy left, said the son of Annikki Tähti. My assistant will keep work in the glove and the house standing. Lomille lomps, holiday humps.
How can anyone even get out of here while the building's sealed?
Anyway, following Ati's vision as the game calls, which leads you towards the NSC coolant pumps. After fighting your way, you find yet another light switch. Flick it 3 times and you are sent again to the Ocean View Motel. You try to solve the same puzzle again by entering each room and following the task. But instead of gaining a key to enter the door that has the black pyramid, this time you enter the janitor room. You find the light switch and you flick it 3 times following the law of 3. Doing that sends you directly to the black rock quarry. You keep following Ati's vision. The game here becomes a lot harder to scream through. as the amount of enemies increases and they are tougher to kill and deal more damage. But after clearing them, you can now ride the lift that takes you into a pitch black place with a light at the end. The game refers to this place as nowhere, which is precisely what it means. And I said it before, now I'll say it again. This live double exposure that the game merges with the gameplay are just fucking stunning. They add a whole lot of atmosphere and character to the game. When arriving at the end of the light, you find Atty. He starts jumbling words together and gives you his cassette player, which is a key that's gonna help you solve the maze. By that you end the Finish Tango mission, and you begin Polaris, which is the same name of the hiss thing inside Jesse.
Atty?
Did you miss me? Did you have peace in your song?
Yes.
No. Bark don't make a wound. You did good. Take my cassette player. You can borrow it. The song is a present from my friends to you. It will get you through the maze so you can do your job.
Did that really just happen? Of course it did. He gave me his cassette player. It'll get me through the maze, huh? Janitor always has the keys.
You initiate by fast traveling to the astral maze. The moment you enter the maze, music starts blasting, the hallways start shifting and closing mid-gameplay, with no cutscenes or rendered footage, which is a whole lot impressive and visually stunning. And it is a whole lot of fun playing this mission. It feels odd and immense, and just like Jesse says at the end, and lastly, you arrive at the dimensional research. In here, you have to look at the slide projector and end everything that happened in ordinary for good. While navigating the area, you stumble upon the projector's room, but big reveal, the projector is not there. So you start looking once again.
The projector's not here. Moved again. What did Darling do with it? I've got to find out.
You head towards the Hedron Resonance Lab. You find there a similar puzzle that you have solved before, with the answer already given to you. So it's just a matter of matching them together. Doing so starts a recorded video message from Dr. Darling, talking about an entity called Hedron. This entity is Polaris herself, so now you have to investigate the Hedron chamber. Of course, this won't be easy, as Dylan activates something somehow. Satellite's dishes blast the Hedron with a laser, leaving you with no choice but to cleanse it, of course, which won't be easy as a lot of enemies spawn here, so you have to fight your way to victory and cleanse the siphons. And be careful not to die, or you repeat almost everything again. And this is the most place where I died at this game. The sheer amount of enemies is jaw-dropping, in addition to the void beneath you. So basically one wrong move and you are dead. If you manage to deal with the enemies and cleanse all the siphons, the mission updates telling you to reach Polaris. Doing so makes the entire Hedron chamber collapses, and Jesse starts screaming in agony. A final scene of her mumbling the same words that Dylan was saying before plays.
Poster comes down and there's nothing there. It's just the cell and death. I was wrong. There was never anything there. Hello? Dolores, are you there? You can't let this happen. Please let me sleep. Please, I just want to sleep. Now, let me sleep.
You are a worm through time. The thunder song distorts you. Happiness comes. White pearls below.
And the credits roll. But they all messed up, which explains that the game didn't end just yet. After the weird credit ends, we see Jesse standing in front of a notice board in a different set of clothes, starting the mission Take Control, the last story mission in the game. You take off the clip papers from the notice board, which update the mission according to what was in those papers, like tidying up the coffee cups, delivering mail, and scanning forms. Basically, you are an assistant in the bureau instead of the director. The same missions updates endlessly after doing them, so instead of keeping doing them over and over again, you take the director's mail, which scratch all the missions, focusing on delivering the mail to the director. You find Trench inside his office. After giving him his mail and taking out the outgoing mail, a cutscene starts with Jessie now is sitting in the director's chair, and Dylan holding the service weapon to her head, killing her. This leads to the mission refreshing again, doing everything again.
No, this isn't me. I'm not me. I can't. Why can't I feel you?
After delivering the mail to the director, where now Dylan is putting the service weapon on Trench's head, and Jesse explaining that the Hiss got Trench first, he turned on the slide projector, which leads to the Hiss escaping. All of this makes the mission refreshes once more time.
He let them in. I have to remember the Hiss. The Hiss is the enemy.
You can skip everything and go straight to delivering the mail to the director, but this time you take the service weapon and you kill Trench. The hotline starts ringing and Dr. Darling starts speaking, saying that the Hedron is gone but it was just a catalyst, not a source, and you should go to his office where you will find the endgame setting.
This is my mess to clean up. My fight. No one else's. I am the director.
Hello, this is Dr. Casper Darling. I have a classified message for the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. I have sad news. Hedron is gone now, but it was not a source. It was a catalyst. Do you understand? You must go to my office. The endgame. It will be revealed.
After finding his office, you find there yet again another light switch. You flick 3 times, which leads to send you to the Ocean View Motel. This time you get the key right away, and that key opens a door that has a picture of Jesse. Entering that room, Jesse finds Polaris, and just like Jesse explained before, Trench took the slide projector to the nostalgia department.
This is a dream inside my... Grow brighter around one constant. They revolve. Hedron is dead, but you're alive here in me. Maybe Hedron put you in our heads when we met her. Maybe you were always there, and she was just trying to teach me how to trigger you. Maybe I'll never understand. Maybe I don't need to. Trench was the first to be corrupted by the hiss. Slowly, over the years. His need for control only made it worse. It was Trench who took the projector to the nostalgia department. He opened the door to the hiss. Just like that. With Hedron dead, the hiss tried to corrupt me too. But I'm stronger than them. We're stronger. They're waiting. They'll try to stop us.
With Hedron dead, the Hiss tried to corrupt Jesse, but with the help of Polaris, the Hiss couldn't, and now it's on Jesse's hand to turn off the slide projector and end this entire thing for good. You are sent to a weird shifted room, with the color red dominating the room. You find the slide projector and you turn it off, sending you to a new place shaped like a pyramid, and you have to reach Dylan. Of course there are enemies along the way. All the enemies are at level 30, the max level, and they deal shit ton of damage, but so do you. This was by far the most fun I had in a long time. The intense battle with the ability to one-shot the enemies and vice versa was just perfect. After reaching Dylan and cleansing him, the slide projector is turned off, leading to the portal shutting down, clearing the bureau from the hiss, and taking control back, which is the best conclusion to the story of a game called Control.
Dylan's in a coma. I don't know if there's anything of him left in there. If he'll ever find his way back. The portal's been closed, but the hiss is still in the oldest house. And the lockdown can't be lifted as long as any trace of it remains. I'm working on a solution with my management team, but there is still a long road ahead. I'm the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. We're in this together. You and I.
The real credits roll, but the game is not over yet. You can now keep investigating the bureau and find more clues, or play the side mission that contains more bosses fights and explain everything in a more in-depth level. Otherwise, the ending of the game is satisfying and I had a lot of fun playing it. It took me about 9 hours to finish, and I wasn't the greatest player at all, but the game hooked me immediately with the level of passion that Remedy put into their game. From the great storytelling to the smallest details that just sets this game as one of the greatest games of 2019.